Welcome to Manage Your League Training. Today we're going to go over the draft tool. So to get to the draft tool, you're going to go to Setup, Teams, and Draft Tool. Now when we pull up the draft tool, you're going to see all the divisions that we have for the draft tool here. So select the division that you want to draft your teams in. So we're going to choose minor A, and our draft tool will display here. So what we'll see across the top is the teams, or are the teams that are in the division. So you're going to see all 5 of the teams here and any players that are already on the teams. Now we scroll down to the bottom here, we're going to have a couple options. You're going to have unassigned selected, so any of these check boxes here, so say we want to remove these players from this team, say they were put in here by mistake, we can select those, click unassigned selected, and it'll actually remove them from the Red Sox team. So now you can see only those 2 are left. So now we're going to go down here. You have add to team. That'll be the options that we choose here. We have our team and our round. So right now Braves are the option that's available for round 1. This is the round order. You can change that in the team edit screen. You can change your draft order for the division. Or also you can skip ahead rounds if you'd like. You have your draft pool division, so you can actually select here and say, okay, I'm looking at minors A here, but I also want to be able to see any players that are in, minor or rookies 1. Let's say rookies 1 is the division before. What this option will let you do is see the players that are in there. So what you can do is you can go through and draft all your players, and let's say you need 10 more players and you want to choose some players to play up from your younger division. You can actually go in here and say, okay, I want this division to display any players that are available. Then you hit submit and it'll pull up the players down here. The other option we have here is draft type. So right now the draft type is showing based on the evaluation order. So the best evaluations to the lowest. And evaluations will show here with the overall average. So if you want to change that, you can click draft type and it'll actually adjust it based on different options. So what we have here is we have draft pool sort options, so we can actually say I wanted just to sort their names by let's see, name ascending. Say we want everybody in order of name ascending, name descending, date ascending. You can put in a bunch of sort orders here so you can sort your players in different orders. You also have team players sorted by name, so you can put all your players up here and have them sorted by name. When you click on here, you can adjust that as well. So say we're now going to draft for the Red Sox. So I'm going to change the team to Red Sox here. And I'm going to say, okay, we're going to put Jeff Carter and Christopher Carter on the same team. So what I do is I come here and I click add to team after I've checked those 2. And they will now show up in the top here, Chris Carter and Jeff Carter. Now the next team that's available in the draft order will display. Braves were supposed to pick, but we picked for the Red Sox round 2 first. So now let's say we want to choose the Royals, and the Royals will now need to make their pick. So, the Bills, let's just choose the Bills over here. If we go to the Bills, they don't have any players. Now if we choose this player here, Henry Clark, you can see here where it says coach 1 that there's head coach. What this means is that his father, Arthur Clark, has decided or volunteered to be a coach and said that I want, and during the registration process on the coach preference page said I want to be a head coach for my son's team. So now we click this and we click add to team. A pop-up window is actually going to display that says there is a coach preference. So if you see, here, let me put in one here. Actually, the pop-up window might be still available. Sorry, it was open in the background. So the pop-up window came up and said, hey, for when you added, Michael Turner here, the parent Arthur Turner already said that he wants to head coach. So what do you want to do about that? And you can say, well, I want him to be in as a head coach, or we've already have a head coach. You can see we have Thompson Corey as head coach. We can say assistant coach 1 here and then make assignments. Or we can, if we did any adjustments, we can reset But let's say we want to adjust all of our settings that are here, or we want to say, Juan Hall, you can be an assistant coach. We can cancel. If we cancel, it'll actually remove the child from the team and put him back into the list. If we don't want any coach assignments to change, or we don't want this parent to go in, just close the window and it'll leave it exactly the way it is. So again, we can come in here and go to, Roger Dennis, check this box, and add to team. That pop-up box will display again saying, hey, he wants to be a head coach. We have Corey Thompson in there right now, but Carol Rogers wants to be a head coach. You can come in here and say, well, I'll put Carol Rogers as assistant coach and make assignments. Now the page will reload and you'll actually see that Carol Rogers is now listed as an assistant coach. There's a couple other things here. You have different memos. So if they have comments in the system, you'll see an R, which is a registration comment, or a P, which is a player comment, if there's any comments on the registration. You can also see if they have any siblings. So the first sibling is Joseph Parker. If they had another sibling, you would see a number 2 here as well, and you can hover over that and see who it is. You can click on these and it'll open up the player windows or the registration windows, and you can see the siblings. Head coach, you're going to see Tim Parker, the child father, wants to be a head coach, as well as the mother, Connie Parker, will also want to be a coach. So you can click on those and see the parent record, and if you need to look at any information, that's there. For this one here, you have different information like data. Data here is going to be who they want to co-coach with. You can see those options that are available, as well as there's some more options showing up here, different answers that they've had. You'll also see like the last team from last season. You can see when they actually registered, and then we have the genders and the ages and the grades right in here. So you can either select one at a time and go through the rounds, or you can simply say, okay, all 3 of these players are going to go to the Red Sox, add to team, and it'll add them to the Red Sox. Other than that, that is the options for the draft tool. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more tutorial videos. And as always, thank you for using Manager League.